History is filled with strange and unsettling events, moments so surreal they sound fictional, yet they truly happened. These forgotten stories reveal a world far stranger and more unpredictable than the one we imagine. Our journey begins in Japan in 1945 with Tsutomu Yamaguchi. He was in Hiroshima on a business trip when the first atomic bomb detonated above the city. The blast launched him to the ground, burned his skin, and turned everything around him into fire and rubble. Barely alive, he made the long trip home to Nagasaki, bandaged and trembling, trying to convince others about the horror he had witnessed. The next morning, as he attempted to explain the blinding flash to his manager, the second bomb exploded outside. Two nuclear blasts, two destroyed cities, and one man who survived both. For the rest of his life, Yamaguchi carried the unimaginable weight of witnessing humanity's most destructive force twice. Yet he chose to dedicate his remaining years to speaking calmly about peace. Our next story takes us to Rome in 897 AD, where power, paranoia, and political revenge created one of the strangest trials ever recorded, the Cadaver Synod. Pope Formosus had already been dead for months when his bitter successor, Stephen VI, ordered his corpse exhumed for judgment. The decaying body was dressed in papal robes, placed on a throne in a packed courtroom, and formally charged with crimes. A terrified deacon was forced to answer questions on behalf of the corpse. The spectacle stunned even the hardened clergy. The verdict was guilty. Formosus's lifeless body was stripped, mutilated, and thrown into the Tiber River. This grotesque trial symbolized a church torn apart by fear, vengeance, and political madness. A reminder that institutions, no matter how sacred, can collapse into chaos. From Rome, we travel to Paris in the early 1700s for the Great Cat Massacre, an event historians still struggle to interpret. In a printing shop, apprentices worked long hours under brutal conditions, while their masters pampered their cats with food and affection. For the workers, the cats became symbols of privilege and unfairness. Their frustration exploded into a bizarre rebellion, a night of capturing, mocking, and killing the cats in what they described as a comic performance. Laughter echoed through the workshop as each cat disappeared into the darkness. It was a disturbing moment, part protest, part satire, part madness, that revealed the deep social resentment hidden beneath the surface of Parisian life. Next, we cross continents to Siberia in 1908, the site of the Tunguska event, the largest non-nuclear explosion in recorded history. At dawn, a blazing fireball streaked across the sky before detonating with the force of 1,000 Hiroshima bombs. The shockwave shattered windows hundreds of kilometers away, and residents described the heat as unbearable, even from far distances. When explorers reached the remote forest years later, they found 80 million trees flattened like matchsticks, all pointing away from a central point. Yet there was no crater, no meteorite, and no trace of the object that caused the devastation. More than a century later, the Tunguska explosion remains a scientific mystery, sparking theories ranging from comet fragments to exotic atmospheric reactions. Our final story takes place in Dublin in 1875 during the Great Whiskey Fire, a disaster as deadly as it was absurd. A warehouse storing thousands of barrels of whiskey erupted in flames, sending a river of burning alcohol flowing through the streets. The fiery torrent ignited buildings, horses, carts, and anything unfortunate enough to be in its path. Residents panicked as the glowing whiskey rushed past them like molten gold. Some tried to scoop it up with buckets. Others attempted to drink it, believing it too precious to waste. 13 people died, not from burns, but from alcohol poisoning caused by fumes and the liquor they consumed. The streets of Dublin were left scorched and shining with the remnants of extinguished whiskey. 5 stories. A man who survived 2 atomic blasts. A dead pope placed on trial. a rebellion carried out through cats, a mysterious explosion that shook the earth, and a city nearly destroyed by a river of flaming liquor. These forgotten moments show us that history isn't just kings, battles, or dates. It's a collection of chaotic, absurd, and deeply human events that reveal how unpredictable our world has always been and how truth can be far stranger than fiction.